Okay. In last video we seen the I think an updation of the student records. Now today we'll see the search. Basically search that on a home page or on a root, whatever data that we are displaying, in that only we want to do some search. So we'll start that. Here in your display student page, I will just add, I'm not doing any CSS work, I'm just concentrating on functionality only, that is text. And on change, we'll call method, say for example search data, right? And here I will complete this. Okay, so right now this is what we want to do on our client side, and here we'll create that method also. So here we'll create that method. After the delete student, I can write down something like this: const search data, and inside that equal to, I'll pass event, then arrow function. It will be something like this. They will see later. So first, after this, we'll go to the server and we'll write down the API for this. So go to the server, and here on server model, server routes, after this I will write down, after delete here I will write down, say for example search record, and here I will write down, say for example route, so router dot get into bracket, I will write down search, and we need to pass a key, means whatever we write down in keyboard, that will be passed as a key. Okay, after that async request and response, we need to write down this. So let's say for example result equal to, wait, always send a promise, so we need to write down await sign up info dot find. Now here we'll write down something which is really important to understand. By default your find is end condition, and here we want to write down or condition, so I will write down something like this, then colon, and I will write down array for that. So in this array, first record, say for example I will write down, we'll see for name only, name and see, not phone number, but just for understanding we'll write down this. You can write down whatever thing that you want. So this is a boiler code that you have to remember. ReactJS colon request dot params dot key, right? And I will write down here, say for example semicolon, then I will copy this, and here I will write down this, and here I will write, instead of name I will write down, say for example phone. You can write down anything, but just for understanding I'm writing this. And by default is and here for or condition we need to write down this way, that you need to remember. And after this we need to send this, so response dot send into bracket, I need to pass result, so I will write down result for this. So this way we are creating the API for this. Okay, so after this creating this API, We again go to the client and we'll try to write down this whatever we have written over here. So I will write down, say for example, let key equal to e dot target dot value. So key equal to e dot target dot value, and here if key is there means my text box is not blank. In that case only I want to do all these things. So I will write down this way. Here I will write down, say for example, that result equal to, so here we need to write down your Axios will send a promise. So I will write down here async, and here I will write down await Axios dot get into bracket, say for example I will write down here http:// localhost 5000 / student / search, right? And here we need to pass a ID. So what I will write down here, search / into bracket key, correct? So that way I can write down this $key. Okay, so now I have written this API. Now after this I will write down, say for example, console, just for checking I am writing, it's not required, but just for checking I will write down result dot, say for example, data, which will give us a data in our results. Now this data we want to display, whatever you write down in a search, that data it should display on a screen, right? So for that we need to do something. So for that, first on this page we have written the key, but we need to display. So here this data is this set data. So from here only get data, we are displaying all the data over here, right? So now to perform this task, now what we can do here easily, that is, say for example, I will write down here, after this I will write down, I'm using the same method, that is set data, and here I'm passing my result. So result dot data. Okay, so now whatever result is coming, that will go to the set data. So it will, when it will go to the set data, it will go to this data, and from this data it will go to the data, and this data we are calling in a get method, right? And this data we are using somewhere here, student.data.method. So whatever you write down data, that data will come over here. So only what happened in this case, now if this result is there, so whatever search you write down, accordingly some data will be generated with the help of this Axios.get, and that data will display here. But if nothing is there, say for example, right, if nothing is there, in that case what we will do, say for example in this case what we can do here, after this set data, but this set data should be, if there is some record in result, if it is a blank, then it should not display anything. So I can write down something like this here, if say for example result, right? So I will write down this one, this I can write down this. Okay, now here this if key is there, if nothing is there in your text box, then it should display all the records on your screen, right? So what I can do here, I can write down this get data. Try to understand what we are doing over here. We'll check this in a minute, but first we'll see this. First we'll take the value from text box, we'll put that key, and we'll pass this record into our API. So So whatever search that we have done, accordingly some data will come. That data will be passed through the set data method, which will eventually pass through the data variable, and that data will be moved and display all the things over here. Okay. Now, say for example, if nothing is there in a key, means my text box is blank. So in that case, it should display whole data. Select star from table name kind of thing. So that's why I'm calling this get method over here, because this get method is separately written over here, so we can easily get that value. So I hope you understand that this way we can do the search. Now we'll check whether it will work or not. So at the top you can see this search button. Now let me write down, say for example, if I write down, nothing is coming, right? So something is wrong somewhere. So first we need to check what is the issue. So how to check the issue? Go to the inspect, go to the console, and here you can see page load, source page not found, promise, something is there. Correct. So every time we are getting this error. So issue is what? Again and again I am giving you the same thing. You need to restart your server every time. Then only you will get the effect. So now there is some issue in server. So I'll stop this. Close this. Again I'll go to the server. And here there is some issue. We'll check what is the issue. Fine, there are 2 times it is written, so I'll just remove this, save this. Okay, now I'll again restart my server. Okay, my server is running now, so I'll just refresh this page now. If I write down now V, so now you can see only V is coming. Say for example, if I write down K, K is coming. Say for example, if I write down A, so when you write down A, at then A is everywhere, so it's not. Now we'll, so say for example, if I write down M, so there are 3 records with M. So and when I remove everything, all the records are coming. Say for example, we'll see for phone. If I write down 5, then only 5 records is coming. Say for example, if I write down 8, the 8 record is coming. If I write down 9, so these records are coming. So this way, this search will happen. So I hope this is clear in your mind. Okay, how to perform a search. We'll do it. We'll go through this very fast again. First, write down search input, and on change we are calling this method called search data. On change we are calling something, so we can obviously we have a values here in e.darket.value. So whatever you type, it will come to this variable key. Okay. Now we'll go to the server. Here what we have written route.cat.search, and here we are passing the key. Whatever we are writing, that is passed as a key. Then async and await, it will be return a promise, so that's why we are writing this. Now dot find, by default it's and, so we are writing or condition into array, any number of record you want to write down. I have just given an example of 2 things, square bracket to square bracket this, and res.send.result will send a result to us on a client side. Okay. So on a client side, now my values are there, and if my key is there, if there is some value, then we are calling this student, and we are passing in search, we are passing that text that we are writing in text box or search box, then this console, and then if result is there, then I am sending this data to my set data method. Now basically set data method we have written previously, it will pass this value to data, and that data we are displaying over here in this thing data.map, and it will display everything on your screen. So that way we are writing this. Okay. And then if key is blank, then again we want to display all the records, so we are calling this get data method, and accordingly we are getting the values. So this way the search is performed.